Satnam, I'm Lillian and Vogt with Awaken Change podcast, and I'm so excited to have my friend and previous business partner, Christi Vogt, on here. She is a 28-year integrative esthetician. Can you even believe that? That sounds so fun, Christi. I can't wait to hear all about that. But today's podcast, I really want to inspire women around the world to think about using the present moment, but also how to build their future in business, because you've had a long history of business and you inspired me along my journey. And so I know you'll inspire today the people that are listening, but also you're a real person. You're saving, you're thinking about your retirement, you're building businesses and income streams. And so I do want to dive into that, not just our beautiful faces and what you can do for that. So I will be asking you a few secrets of that too. Okay, so welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. This is fun.
Yeah, so I just feel like you really have a lot to share. So let's dive in. Okay, so first of all, your esthetician life, I met you towards the end of it. Mm-hmm. And I met you with a company called Ladara, which had this amazing face serum. And that was kind of my intro into doing anything for my face. I don't even remember how old I was, but I think it was probably 15 years ago. Maybe 10. I can't really remember.
Yeah, it was like 2014-ish. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So 12 years. All right, good. So, and I just thought that was so cool. I'm like, why does my skin look so good? Why does it make all the redness go away? Why does this, what is this miracle beauty product? But in due time, the company went under. And so then we parted ways. But during that time, Christi, what do you feel like you really were some business tips that you could share with us as far as what was it like to start your own business and build your own team? Just
yeah. So I was about 47 years old. My husband, Dave, he's 5.5 years older than I am. We have 4 adult kids. And so at that time, our youngest, our daughter, was just about to graduate high school, going into nursing school. And, I had worked all those years as a medical esthetician and, earned a great income. But I wanted to do something more for people, and we'll get into this later. But I started taking this integrative approach to beauty, and opened up a medical clinic here in town. So doing cosmetic dermatology, because that's what floats the boat. But then I also wanted to do disease prevention and help people change their diet and their lifestyle, so you can, they could live longer, healthier lives and looking good all at the same time. So started this business, poured everything into it, and 2.5 years in, when we were making a profit, I unfortunately lost the business literally overnight due to a failed partnership. We'll just put it there. And so it was a really challenging time for us, because we had put everything we had into the business. We had no money towards retirement, and our older kids were starting to have our first grandbabies. We've got 7 now, 8th on the way.
Oh my gosh, congratulations. You don't even look old enough to have 1 child, much less 8 grandchildren.
Thank you. We've got lots of secrets that I will share. But so anyway, it was a really challenging time. I'm like, okay, I can't go back into aesthetics. I don't want to own my own business. What am I going to do? And that is when literally that same month, a girlfriend came over, Laura, and I was kind of pouring my, heart out to her, I don't know what to do. And then she said, well, Christi, I have this opportunity, and, this may or may not be a fit for you, but, I know your drive, I know your motivation, I know your interest in beauty. It's a skincare serum called Ladara, I don't know, but I'm doing it with or without you. I'm like, So she just created this vision for me, and that's kind of the theme of what we're going to be talking that I want to share today. Is just this vision. She painted it for me. She didn't even know how to pronounce the company's name, the product name. And by the time she finished painting this picture, I'm like, here's my credit card. I had nothing, right? I didn't have the money, but I'm like, I'm going to do it. And so, Dave and I, we met with Laura and her husband. We looked at the plan, and we're like, we're going to do this. I was so hungry to, first of all, create another income stream for us, and not sit there. And, a lot of people would sit there and just be upset and angry for what happened to them, and probably dwell on it for maybe a year or two, right? But I just literally, it was like 2 weeks, and I was like ready to go. I'm just going to leave that behind me. And
it's a good lesson, like leaving the past behind, because it's like, what can you do? A failed company, a lost partnership. Like, what else do you do besides, say, all right, let me try again?
Absolutely. Like, I wake up every day really feeling like life is short. We got to live it. We got to live it the best we can. And so that wasn't going to serve me trying to fight it or whatever. So I said yes to Laura, to the opportunity. And I learned a lot about, the industry. I met beautiful people like you. It was a really great experience. But the one thing really that sets, people that have to be in this entrepreneurial mind, they're set apart by like a vision. You've got to just have a vision. You've got to have a strong why. We hear that all the time, a why, that we're going to get up every day and do the things that are hard. And but that why drives you.
The why, yeah, we'll get to the why too. I think that's so important in the entrepreneurial world. And I think a lot of people forget, including myself, I forget my why sometimes. Like, I know that I want to help people. I know that I'm serving people, right? That's my why. But the days where you're feeling, tired, or maybe you've helped too many people, so your energy is blasted, or, that kind of stuff. Do you have your why written down on your bathroom mirror? I see behind you, you have seize the day. But so I have, my little reminders right here to the side. Like, how do you remember your why?
Oh God, it's just in my heart and in my soul. It was just have the freedom and the finances to be able to visit our grandchildren. We're such young parents, right? I was 46 years old when I had my first grandbaby. And so I just am like, how are we, and they live all scattered about.
Okay. So you don't have a compound.
We don't have a compound. I just wake at night, like, how are we going to pay for our daughter's wedding and, get her through college? And how are we going to
I have those questions.
visit the grandbabies? And so you just, this vision. And so I have this analogy. Should I share it now about
do it?
The vision. So it's like if you see this beautiful piece of property and you want to build a house on the property, you first have to visualize, right? You have to have a strong vision of the kids playing in the backyard and standing in the kitchen, and what view do you have, and having guests over, and maybe if you like to cook, like cooking in the kitchen, and what does that look like? So you've got to have that big vision to pull you, and then you buy the lot, and then you've got to make the blueprint of the house. So you have the blueprint. So the blueprint is kind of the how. So your vision is strong, and it's pulling you to then look at your blueprint and go through the building process. And you're going to go through all the struggles of building, right? Like being able to pay for this and pay for that, and the ups and downs of building a home. But the vision's going to pull you. But then your why, you want to create memories with your kids and then your grandkids and the next generation in that house. So that's like your why, all those years of memories you want to create. The vision that's pulling you, and then the blueprint of the how. So to me, the vision has always been okay, being able to go and visit our grandkids, which we do now. But it was years of working the blueprint to get there. And that's strong.
Do you like hold each other? And what if you don't have the same vision? Okay, so, for me, I'm ready to move to Seattle because I want to be by one of my besties, because I want to be in the mountains. I miss Colorado, but I don't want to move back to Colorado. Okay, so all of these loves have come back by visiting Seattle. So what do you do if so my husband and I, we don't really share that same vision? We share that same vision, but not the timing. So what's your advice around that? Because this is what you're going to, this is what you're going to see in the South too. And this is because I coach women. And what happens in the South is that, let's say a woman has a vision and the man can't see it. Or let's say the woman's like, I'm doing this. And her husband's like, but you're going to need money for that. And you're going to need this for about selling the other. That person in your vision and pull them along energetically? Or do you have meeting after meeting at the kitchen table to try and get in the same vision?
And make a compromise. Yeah. I would say I'm very fortunate because we've just always had that same vision. And, but man, if in that situation, it's just sitting at that table and looking at all of the different options, the different ways you can do it, and just coming up with a compromise. You work. There's so many components, right? Like how old you are at the time, and will you have a job when you get there, and family.
I think this is why it's tough in the entrepreneurial world. And I think this is why it's so interesting to me, because it's like, okay, well, that's great that you and Dave are on the same page, but what about 98% of the other married couples that are not on the same page? And, when I met you, I was on probably my second MLM or third, right? Mm-hmm. And so my husband was like, another one? And I was like, but they're so exciting and there's so many good products and I meet so many freaking cool people and everyone's successful. Like, how can you not be around that? Mm-hmm. Right? I didn't end up working out for me, or, and you went a different path too. But I think that, my husband and I, we're both from families of Amway. Mm-hmm. And so we love to share our Amway stories because that's just how old we are and how old our parents are. And we both had parents that were really into it. So we have some really funny stories to share together. And we're, 99% of the time we're on the same page. But I'm speaking more for a lot of the listeners and a lot of women that end up having to convince their partners, this is what I want to do. And you have to be really fortunate for a partner to be like, okay, great, go for it. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Right? So how do you navigate those conversations with Dave? He can't possibly say yes to everything you say, even though you're gorgeous. No. He doesn't say yes. What I did was I would put our meetings and our trainings on speakerphone. And so he would kind of listen in and kind of get fed, the information. So he's more knowledgeable, right? Because most of the time when there's a no to something like that, like our industry of network marketing, it's just that you're not educated enough to understand. And then you most of us have to prove ourselves, right, to our spouses. So so the spouses usually are supported, whether it's the wife or the husband. Either one.
Really, when they start earning the money. So people that have done 2 or 3, network marketing gigs, and they they don't do it right, or they don't get themselves educated or work on their mindset, and they don't make any money, then their spouse is not going to support them if they need money coming into the house, right? So, I always worked and just tried to and just fit in like my Ladara business while I was also working part-time, and I just knew that I had to prove to him I can do this, prove to myself, prove to him, prove to my ex-business partner, I can do this, I'm going to show you. So it's that attitude too, just having that confidence, right? And the belief in yourself. And there you go, like belief in yourself as an entrepreneur. You've got to have belief in yourself first and foremost, belief in, whatever in business you're doing, whatever product or service you're selling. And in most people have to work on their belief.
Yeah. Okay, remind me to come back to that, but I love that you touched on that, because it doesn't matter if you're doing network marketing or starting a business from scratch or anything, you literally have to work on the exact thing you just talked about, which is confidence and believing in yourself, and also proving yourself. I think that's huge. And I think that's why the majority of people pull back, especially women pull back and are like, oh, I don't know, because I'm going to have to prove myself. But because it is challenging to prove yourself and then fail. Yes. Which I've done a million times. So at this point, I'm like, fuck it. Let's just keep rolling.
Yeah. Digging deep, like, what am I afraid of? Right? It's fear that holds people back. Fear. So what is it? Fear of rejection, fear of what people think about you.
Yeah. Fear of validation that you're not going to get it.
Right. So it's working through the fear, and then just, I don't know, like, what is worst case scenario,
I love doing that. Okay, that's my favorite thing.
Right.
So glad you brought that up. What is the worst case scenario? And, it's funny because I do that, and then the bestie that I was talking about, she was talking about like a specific scenario, and I was like, all right, well, let's do the worst case scenario. Like, all of our children die. Like that. It can't get any worse. It can't get any worse.
Right.
And then we die, or a bomb hits us. And hopefully we all die together. We were going through all these scenarios. And she's like, okay, yeah. And we therapize each other, right? So it's like she gives me therapy one day and I give her therapy the next day. So it's like,
great to have a friend like that.
It's great. Even if we get in 10 minutes, I'm like, oh my God, okay, blah, blah, blah. And then the next day she'll be like, blah, blah, blah. So, okay, worst case scenario in business. Okay, worst case scenario, you spend $1,000 for the next 10 months. You're out, $10,000. You've hit up all your friends, to buy from you. They've all said no. Now what, Chrissy?
Well, you've got to look at the risk of money, right? Like, we all need to invest money into something if we want to get something out of it, right? So you kind of got to look at those, how much that investment costs. But like in network marketing, it's very little startup cost. That's what is so beautiful about it.
That's why it's so great. Yeah, that's why people like it. Yeah.
Like the clinic that we started, no, trust me, it was a lot of money invested and a lot of money lost. But, sometimes we do that. But look if I didn't take that risk, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. Right? Okay. Everything happens for a reason. So I had to go through all of that loss and, disappointment in financial loss to actually be where I am now. I wouldn't have, it was me hitting rock bottom that gave me that really strong, powerful why. That I got to get out of here fast. I'm almost 50 years old, life short. So, worst case scenario is definitely looking at that. But also, I would say the biggest fear in what I do, in our industry is the fear of what people think about you, like the fear of rejection. So what I've learned from that is, you can't take things personally, and sometimes we have to lose people along the way, right? If someone's not supporting you or just loving you for who you are and cheering you on, they don't have to be your customer or whatever, but
They don't have to be buying from you. They can just be a friend, a distant relative.
Loving, cheering you on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but if they're not, then maybe those people don't need to be in our life right now. And it makes room for, different people to come into your life. So we are the 5 people who we surround ourselves with, right? So we need to, especially as an entrepreneur, because that's the topic today, you've got to surround yourself with people who are supportive of you. You're supportive of them. You're fixing each other's crowns. You're there in a place where you want to be, and the people who are just doing the things and having living their dreams or working towards their dreams. Those are the people you want to surround yourself with. So.
And how do you stay disciplined as far as, okay, you're working for yourself, or you and Dave, right? Y'all are building your company, and he wasn't a partner as an esthetician, right? So it was kind of you and other people and Dave. And so now you're together as a married couple.
Mm-hmm.
So do you get up and you're like, you haven't worked today? It's 9:00. Have you called some people? Have you done our business plan? Have you remembered your why? Like, how is that going if people decide, okay, I do want to go into business, but I want the support of my spouse, or I want the support of my family? Like, who's going to hold me accountable as a entrepreneur? Like, is it just you versus you, Christy? Or is it you and Dave? Or is it you and Dave against the world? Like, what is it?
It is definitely each individual. Like, Dave, he had a full-time job until December, and then quit that job, and then he's kind of helping me with what I'm doing now. And we have a whole different work routine. So we're navigating kind of that retirement. We're navigating working together, all of the things. So some things are working, some things we still need to work on.
Okay, well, give us one thing that's working. One thing that's working with you, working with your spouse, because I think I have a lot of people that I know that do work either in the house with their spouse. That rhymes. Didn't even plan that. With a mouse that we just saw crawling over our roof the other day. Or, they want to go in business with their spouse. So I coach a couple of them that do work that way. So give us one thing that really works and one thing that doesn't. We want a dirty detail and a good detail.
I think respecting each other's kind of work habits.
Okay.
Is what
That's a good one.
Is working. We've had to work on it, but it's working. So, we just have different routines in the morning. Like, I get up thinking about all of the work things I have to do, and he does not. he waits until maybe 1 in the afternoon or whatever. So really respecting each other's workspace and schedules. Okay. So what it doesn't work is kind of along those same lines of, he might be saying to me, like, here's what doesn't work. It's the man versus woman thing, right? I just talk on the phone, right, with my business partner, but she's also my friend. It's almost every day. And sometimes it's repetitive stuff. Sometimes we just hash things out, whatever it is. And, he hears it and he's like, you just spent an hour talking. You just talked to her yesterday. Okay, that doesn't work because tell me who I can. I think women are different. We have to talk to each other every day. Where, guys, they don't do that, right? They're just every couple weeks, hey, you want to go get a beer or whatever. So they don't talk through things. So that's interesting. And
that just happened to us yesterday. Literally sitting on the porch. He was like, you really give your people a lot of extra time. Yes. And I was like, well, I mean, we're just not done with that part of it. And he's like, well, you're always, you could be charging more, or this or that. I'm like, yes. Like he's watching me from the other room or something. And I'm just like, WTF? I mean, from a profit and loss standpoint, if he's my accountant, he's absolutely right. Right. But from respecting the workspace, he's absolutely invading my space. Mm-hmm. Right?
Let me hear the funniest story. So we built a house. It's been 4 years now. And we have this garage where evidently he has an app that you can control the garage going up and down and whatever. So
we do have that. I just don't know how to use it.
I don't know how to use it either, but he obviously does because he was out traveling. Like he was a couple hours away for work, and I left to go to the gym or whatever, and I came back, and then he texted me later. He goes, "Where did you go at 11 o'clock?" I'm like, "How did you know I left at 11?" He goes, "Well, I just got a notification that the garage door opened." I'm like, "Okay, let's get something straight. You need to delete that app, and we will never, ever have this conversation again."
Yeah, the tracking thing is weird. We had that issue with the 360, and I remember we got in a fight, and I remember I turned off my location, and when I got home, he was so angry, and he doesn't get angry, okay, but he was like angry in his own way, not like outwardly angry, because he's just not like that, but he was like, well, I see you turned off the 360, like maybe I went to Jamaica or something, and I'm just like, yes, I was pissed, and I knew you weren't going to call me. I knew you were just going to track me, so I turned it off, and look, haha, you have to talk to me now. Can I say we've never reinstalled 360? It's just it doesn't happen in our house anymore.
Oh gosh. I'm so glad we didn't have it when I was in high school. Let's just say that.
Oh, yeah, me too. I would have probably been dead, but that's okay. Yeah. I wasn't, and you're not, and here we are. And, so that's good. Okay, well then let's dive in to mindset, because whether you're starting your business, whether you're doing network marketing, whether you are trying to decide if you're going to leap in the process of taking care of yourself, right? Because let's face it, it's not anyone else's responsibility to take care of ourselves. My very first psychic teacher told me that. She's like, stop saying you want someone to take care of you. You are only responsible for yourself. And then, dude, did she know the future? $500,000 divorce later, I did take care of myself and paid for myself and started back from zero, and the whole shebang. And she was so right. I just didn't get the concept then. So it's like, all right, you're 50, not right now, but I'm just saying, like, you're looking like, oh my gosh, I'm almost 50, failed business, Ladara closed. What am I going to do with my life? I'm trying to build retirement, see the grandkids, travel with my husband. What the hell am I going to do? How did you get in the right mindset? Like, what did you do besides listening to training calls and all that? Like, what did you do to get in that mindset of you do believe in yourself and you are moving forward, period?
Mm-hmm. Right. I knew I wanted a second chance in network marketing. So I just did the research, and I took what I learned from Ladara, the good and the bad, and just did the research and made a move, because I did see so many lives change from the opportunity. So I've been doing that now since Ladara for 9 years.
Wow. It's been 9 years, Christy?
It's been 9 years. Because I was 50 when I jumped ship from Ladara, just before they went under, and came over to LifeVantage. I was 50, and I just turned 59. So, yep, 9 years, girl.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And how was the move? Like, how was the jump? And to really believe in yourself, what did you do to really make that move after 2 failed businesses?
I know. Can you believe it? Like in 5.5 years, two failed businesses. And nobody came over with me because they had lost, a lot of belief in network marketing and a lot of belief in me because we had a product that really failed people. So, that's a good question. I think just it literally was my why. It was, at that point now we were, we had more grandkids coming and just, I got to keep going and knowing that I just have had confidence in myself. Just, I have a strong drive, and just motivated to get shit done and to make money so I can.
How'd you get that?
Do the thing. I don't know. Because a lot of it has to do with, just proving myself to, like, I come from a very critical family. We just had very, very critical, and there was, one path that was like, go to school, go to college, get good grades. And I struggled down that path. So I've always had this rebellious spirit, and to prove to them this path is great, this path is fine, and so and I think just having I just like things, like I like being able to travel, I like to have the freedom, I like, I met Dave, when I was 21 years old, and he had a boat and we had fun on the boat, and we still have a boat 37 years later. So he just like, and he was in the Navy and enlisted. And so all the years raising kids, I was 21, he was 26. He had two boys from a previous marriage. They were 2 and 3, but we had full custody. So I raised them as my own. We had 2 more kids after that. So we were financially struggling for many years. We wanted the things. We wanted to be able to snow ski with them and boat with them and all the things. So I just like, what we're doing now is not getting us to where we need to be. So we've got to do something different.
Yeah. And who was the leader of the ship for that? Was that you? Was that him? Like, what was
definitely me. Yeah.
Definitely you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, and so you're the accountant in the family. Are you the like money checker and all that kind of stuff?
I do all that. Yep.
Yeah. I wish I was more like that, but that's why I have a husband that does that, because he's more of the checker. I'm more of like the, do you feel like a lot of this entrepreneurial stuff has to be, not the term, manifesting is really, I really want to create like a female word for that, like female festing, but it's like manifesting. It's like, do you feel like our purpose as a leader and an entrepreneur is bringing in source and is bringing in the whole unlimited abundance of your, spiritual practice into your real everyday world? Like, do you go into that, like, in your world? I mean, I live in that world. So,
yeah.
You do?
Oh, yeah. 1,000%. Yeah. And I guess that's where, the kind of that vision is that manifesting. And it's crazy. And it's been a fun ride with Dave because he, we listen to The Secret together. And so he's just, he's involved with everything I do. And it's fun because I'm like, I just manifested that. Look what that just happened. And he's like, whoa, that's crazy.
And is he like, yes, you are the queen? Or is he like, I did that, or we did that? Like, how good are y'all at using we? Like, since you're in business together. Yeah. Have you had to practice using the word we?
Yes, all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Still to this day?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, because we're together, more now than ever, right? And so, and it is we, and we make the decisions together, and it's cool. He just he trusts me, and I think that's the big thing, right? Is that we talked about spouses, and you've got to trust each other, right? And you've got to believe in each other. Like, he had to believe in me that I could do it, and so I just had this, strong desire to prove him right. Yeah,
I just love that. I love that that's like your mission in life. Like, you want to prove yourself.
Yeah, I'll show you, right? I'll show you. Don't tell me I can't do it.
Yeah. Okay. I love that about you. Okay. So any last tips for the business? Because what I want is, what I want for people listening and for, friends and loved ones that really haven't found their niche is number one, really do the mindset and work and believe in yourself, and just know that even from you, who's running a successful business with her spouse, and me, who's failed a million times too, you just have to wake up and keep going, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you also need a plan, and that is what you mentioned, like your vision,
Mm-hmm.
your blueprint.
Yes. And I almost feel like, are people dreaming as big these days? I mean,
Okay.
do they have dreams and vision and hope?
I'm not dreaming as big, I can tell you, because every time, and we'll just use me as an example, because I feel like I have a great life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have a beautiful house.
Mm-hmm.
I have money in the bank. I have
Mm-hmm.
healthy kids. I'm healthy, but I work hard for that.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes when I dream and I go into my third eye, and this is how I tell people to kind of start dreaming and manifesting things, is go to bed when you're not sleepy. Lay your head on the pillow, and then I put a little baby pillow on top of my eyeballs, right? And on top of my third eye, because so I don't see the light and I don't hear the sounds. Like I try and cover my ear and eyes. And then I go into my third eye and I try to visualize, okay, what is my house going to look like in Seattle? Am I going to be in the water? Is Andre going to have a boat? Are we going to go clamming? Are the grandbabies going to be playing on the beach? Some days I can get there, Christy. Other days I'm like, that seems kind of stingy because I have such a great life here. And I'm like, so it's some days I feel like I don't dream big enough, and other days I feel like the ego wins and I settle. So what do you feel about that?
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, I mean, I think that's why. I mean, it's just like if you're content, right? And that's what I'm feeling. Like so many people are just kind of content with
They're content,
which is okay. If if your heart isn't pulling you towards Seattle, all of the time,
but how do you get people to dream? Like,
more content.
it's like a lot of people are content even financially struggling. They're content even in a so-so marriage. They're content even with their child being sick all the time. They're content because it seems so hard out there, and they're going to have to work more instead of work smarter. And there's all these things that come in for the mindset. That's why I think like the mindset is like number one. Do you spend most of your time with the newbies? Do you spend that time in mindset and dream world?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked me that because, I actually created this. It's called Why Plus Work Plan. And it's the very first thing we do when we sit down with a new, like a prospect or just a very new, team member. And even you could do it for the whole Seattle thing is, and I can send it to you, but it asks things like, what does your life look like 5 years from now? I really want you to picture your life in 5 years. How old are your kids in 5 years? How old are you in 5 years? If you just continue doing the things you're doing right now and don't change anything, are you going to be okay with 5 years from now?
Who you are in 5 years.
Right?
With
and then
more wrinkles.
Or even 10 years from now, right?
Yeah.
Planning now. So I guess even helping people create that vision, what, your kids in 5 years. So some people just kind of are so busy, that word busy, right? Day to day to day. They're just
I know, I hate that word.
Their kids, all of the things, and they want things to change, but they're like one day I'll make it happen. And then that one day, 5 years later is still the same talk in your head. So it's sitting down and thinking, okay, are you, Lillian, going to be okay 5 years from now if you're still where you are, living where you are?
Yeah, I would be. And I think that I definitely would be. But I also think part of our life purpose here on the planet is to push ourselves out of our comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think I got out of my comfort zone doing in network marketing and traveling maybe when I didn't have money, or meeting people that were way more successful than me, you know. And so I think that I think that getting out of your comfort zone is a big part of starting your business, whether it be starting your own business, your LLC, starting in network marketing, starting in someone else's business as an employee. But I think that is a major thing. And I think right now, everything's so kind of disorganized, it's hard to get out of your comfort zone. But I think that is one of the keys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was just reading something today that said that, if we're in this comfort zone and we're just kind of doing the same thing every single day, kind of the same habits, all of the things, that it's actually really bad for your brain health, right? I'm all into brain health right now as I'm trying. Yes. And so we want to be doing new things, different things, challenging ourselves, and getting out of that comfort zone, getting out of those, just those really comfortable habits that we're in, to create a healthier brain. So
yeah, I'm so into that right now too. Okay, so tell us, so your company, Life Vantage, okay, so I know people are creeped out sometimes by network marketing. Yeah. I am not. I am not afraid at all, because it is just another business. It is just a business with amazing products, just like your person you meet on the street has this amazing product. Like right now, I'm using my, she will be on my podcast tomorrow. Well, she was on, but it'll be out online. But she creates this new beef tallow moisturizer for at night. And I swear in like 5 days, my skin is different, Christy.
Nice.
And so that's no different than a product you have. So, okay, I gave you her very special product. Tell us one of yours that we have to have for our future, our present moment, I should say.
There's one thing that's everyone needs to be on, and it's a little pill, not a supplement, but it has 5 herbs in it. So it has turmeric, ashwagandha, green tea, milk thistle, and bacopa that are synergistically blended to reduce inflammation in the body, reduce oxidative stress. And how I got to this, just real quickly, as an esthetician, I've got someone, people in my chair for an hour, 2 hours at a time. Yeah. And all of these treatments on them with fancy products and fancy lasers. Yes. And I'm listening to their stories, because I, like you, love hearing people's stories. And it didn't take me long to realize, here I am 30 years old, just starting out. But it didn't take me long to realize, oh my gosh, nobody feels well. They're coming in, they're all stressed out. They didn't sleep well. They're telling me they're not eating well. They've got gut issues, lots of aches and pains, hormone issues, skin issues. Maybe they got recently diagnosed with a disease. And I'm thinking to myself, this is all for naught. It doesn't matter how beautiful our skin is, or what kind of house we live in, what kind of car we drive. If our bodies are breaking down and we're not feeling well, and nobody felt well that was in my chair. I didn't care how old they were, or their gender, or how. So I'm like, I got to figure this out. So fast forward, I started working for a physician 6 years later, starting in 2004, who was practicing anti-aging medicine. And he sent me to this A4M conference in Chicago. And it was the year that all of the scientists and researchers that were researching disease and just progressive aging made one huge discovery. And that was at the root of disease. Every single disease and just aging itself was inflammation in the body, systemic inflammation. So I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm going to figure out what causes inflammation, how to bring down inflammation so my people can feel better and look good. Yeah. So I got my nutrition certification in whole food, plant-based nutrition, learned all about inflammatory foods. And then that's why, like, fast forward, I started that clinic so I could do disease prevention.
Integrative. Okay, so that's what brought you integrative face and whole body.
Yes. Teach people, changing their diet and their lifestyle, and all the things so they can feel better and live more optimally. And then after I lost the clinic, I did the Ladara thing for 2.5 years. And then as I was jumping ship, somebody told me about this little yellow pill that is scientifically proven to activate our cells to make antioxidants like they do when they're young and healthy, but that process slows down over time. So our cells make antioxidants. Glutathione is our mother of all antioxidants. It's made in our cells by our cells. And so this little pill is actually keeps our cells making those antioxidants 24/7, regardless of our age, regardless of our genetic makeup, our health history, our lifestyle. It's creating those antioxidants, lowering oxidative stress. So that would be it, because that is the root of all disease and aging.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. You're speaking my love language. I just finished my health coaching certificate. So I am in a matter of days, my paperwork has been turned in. By the time this airs, I might be board certified health coach, because I personally have struggled with inflammation and parasites for years and years and years. And I finally got sick of it. I was just like, okay, I help myself. I'm going to help other people. And in turn, the skin does glow. It does light on.
Yes, girl. Our skin's our largest organ. It's a breathing organ. And it's a direct reflection of what we're doing in the inside, what's happening on the inside. So,
yeah. Yeah, so I can't wait to have a friend of mine on. She's made like this amazing shake. She should probably patent it and sell it. And so I can't wait to have her on so she can tell us. But it has really changed her life from the inside out.
Ooh, you'll have to tell me about it, or I'll catch your podcast.
Yeah. Well, and I'm going to see if she's going to put it in a cookbook or give us a recipe or charge us for it or whatever. But she made me one of her shakes and I was like, whoa. I've never had anything like this, and I'm a juicer. I'm DIY in the kitchen. And I was just blown away. I'm like, okay, this is
really
yes. I think if LifeVantage got a hold of it, they'd probably pay millions for her recipe because that's how different and how good she feels. Nice. Yeah, and she looks physically different, and and it's not Botox and fillers.
No, you can glow from within. I remember remember Dr. Oz?
Yes.
Now, but I was watching him one day, and he had this very fair-skinned, like you, lady, put her arm under UV light for 10 minutes. And of course, her skin burned and got all red. And then he said, go home and eat a 1/4 cup of cooked tomatoes for 1 full month every day. A 1/4 cup of cooked tomatoes. So salsa, something with tomato paste, like cooked, tomato sauce.
Okay.
And so she did. She came back and she put her arm under the UV light, and for 10 minutes, no burning at all. So that's when I realized. So cooking tomatoes releases lycopene, and lycopene is, high in antioxidants, and it helps our skin become more resilient to sun damage. So that was kind of my first realization as a young esthetician. Like, whoa, like we can really eat our sunscreen. We can eat, if we eat colorful, orange and red foods, it gives our skin a glow, like a tan color. So in the middle of winter, if we need a little bit of brightness, eat a sweet potato, for a few days.
Okay, this is so cool. You'll have to come back. And can we do every food secret, because I'm obsessed with that. But I thought, and see, this is why the myths need to be all banished, and I'm sure they are on other podcasts and all over the world, but all this information is still coming out. This is new stuff. But I thought that the tomatoes were a nightshade, and so they were inflammatory, so we're not supposed to eat all those tomatoes.
Yeah, I have never gotten into the nightshade thing. I do hear this, and I don't really, I
don't either, but I did for a while suffer with psoriasis. And until I got my parasites and my, viruses in check, I really didn't get any relief. And no one talks about that on a Western level ever. You have to find it out for yourself. And you have to be able to be willing to experiment on yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, as long as, like, everybody has oxidative stress in their bodies, right? But it's so, some people have it higher levels than others. But as long as there's that inflammation, that low-lying inflammation in there, it's going to manifest into different things. And another thing, if someone eats it, you already had some issues going on, so you eat a tomato, it may exacerbate it, it's for whatever reason. So it's like, if we've got to reduce that inflammation, so then our bodies, and get our guts healthy, right? It's all about the guts too. So our whole microbiome, that's a whole nother topic. But it's important to have really good microbiome health so we can absorb the nutrients. Someone with a good gut, like when people have, for instance, gluten intolerance, if they get their guts back in shape, very often, then they no longer have gluten intolerance, right?
Yeah. That was my husband. That way, he gluten was literally making him choke to death, like choke, and cough. So like just embarrassing type of cough where you're like, oh my God, like, I'm going to have to leave the room. 3 years he didn't eat gluten, and now he can eat it. But now, since he brought it back in a little bit too much, he started getting this like rash. And I was like, look, I think that's just another gluten thing coming back up. I don't think you healed one level, but not maybe level 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So you're not coughing and choking anymore. But it's funny because it was still in the throat chakra. It was still red and puffy. And he was like, I guess so. And so he gave up bread and went away in a week.
I would love to hear more about your throat chakra another time, or if there's something you can send me, because anytime I do get tired, or if I'm on like going to a conference for 3 or 4 days and it's just go and I'm talking a lot, or it all is in my throat. Like my throat gets scratchy, coffee. It's okay. Well,
I'll tell you one thing that's coming in right now if you want. Okay, so they're saying for you have to pull the energy up from the womb and up through the heart and out through the throat. You're just pulling the energy from the throat out. So you're kind of overexerting the throat chakra, when really your energy, your specific energy, you need to go like to the root chakra, which is for women like the center of the cervix, right? So we're going to go from the root. You're going to imagine pulling the energy up, and then project out.
Okay.
That's all talking. Because so basically, if I had to sum that up, you're kind of hiding your energy in your lower half.
Okay.
So I would do like some squats like before, and remind yourself like my energy's in my hips, my root, my sacral, my I am woman, hear me roar, not just from the throat, but from the whole body. And you'll actually project better. You'll probably attract more people. You'll come across as more powerful but yet feminine, because you're pulling it from the feminine root.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love the throat chakra, but I mean, it's been a journey for me, the throat chakra. And plus, like if you have any thyroid stuff, you don't, but I've had a lot of thyroid stuff, and a lot of the thyroid, it gets tired easily because it's always making decisions. Do I do this? Do I do that? So the thyroid is like the decision maker. So it gets tired. So I can imagine at your conferences and leading the teams and like which move to make, you're always probably making decisions.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, just dig a little deeper in there and know that like the decision can come from anywhere.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So you're going to share your why plus work. What is it?
Plus work plan.
Why plus work plan.
Yes.
And I think what we could do is, I really feel like if women need some inspiration and some power, and they're still looking for ways to really be independent in this world, and to really step out into a safe place where they will have support, I really feel like that's why they need to reach out to you.
Absolutely.
What do you think about that?
Absolutely. Yes. I would love to help them.
Because it's like, if you want to make money and you want to be someone with high integrity, then Christi's where it's at.
I appreciate that. Yes.
And you have a lot of things that you can, it's not just one little yellow pill.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's just your magic.
The one thing. Yeah.
That's right. Just the one thing. We don't want to overwhelm them. Okay. And then before we go, tell us the one thing that we need for our faces, because we're always trying to get, like, I literally saw one today on Instagram, and it was the microneedling except with serum attached in it. So she was like microneedling her face with serum, and I was like, interesting. I'm going to ask Chrissy about that.
Like a clinical treatment?
Yes, but like something they can do at home to where they don't have to like go out and spend $600 on a clinical treatment, because we don't want to like send them out there right now doing that.
I don't know anything about, microneedling is great, but I don't know anything about the at-home microneedling device. One is actually just using like a jade roller and doing lymphatic drainage, right?
Okay.
So in the morning, before I even get out of bed, I don't always grab my jade roller, but if I had it right in the nightstand, I would. But even with my fingers, just kind of doing some very light lymphatic drainage. You can probably just Google like, how to do it and how to go across your face. But then you'll start swallowing. If you're doing it right, you're going to just start swallowing, things that kind of accumulated in your sinuses.
Like while we're
sleeping. So you kind of go from the inside out, top to bottom, very lightly, because your lymph is, right on the surface there. And then when you get down to your jawline, you go down. And then right here, you want to go like center out, and then you push it down like that, and you start swallowing.
Yeah, totally.
So then that kind of helps. And then Dave and I are addicted to ice baths, facial ice baths. So every morning he gets up, we have this bowl at our bathroom sink. He goes and gets the ice and then the water, and you want to put your face in the ice water for 30 seconds, but you can do like 5 or 10-second intervals. Of course, Dave being a dude, he'll do it like
probably do.
Minute.
Yeah.
One. But that, I'm telling you, that takes the inflammation down. It kind of just tightens the skin. It wakes you up, all of the things. So those are some very inexpensive beauty tricks. And then really like the exfoliating the dead skin, right? So by the time we're about 30, 35 years old, our skin doesn't turn over as quickly as it did when we were younger. And so we've got to get that top dead layer, the stratum corneum, to turn over quicker. That's why you hear the word exfoliate. But so many people do it wrong, and they do it too aggressively. So just a light, glycolic, something or other. I've got like a plant-based retinol alternative that's beautiful. It turns over the dead skin cells without any flakiness or sun sensitivity. But just, whatever you can to kind of exfoliate that dead skin. Maybe a light, at-home peel you could do.
Yeah. Okay, that's amazing. Okay, those are 3 really good tips, and we'll have to learn more about that too. 28 years of experience. We need to pick your brain so we can stay. I'm going to try the ice bath, though. I do the roller. Well, I do the gua sha, but I'm going to try the ice bath. Sounds a little crazy, but I'm going to do it.
I'm telling you, I know. At first,
it's a game changer.
What? But then after you do it a few times, like to get my husband even, addicted to it, that's a big deal. It don't feel the same, We haven't done I've done the full body ice baths before, but we don't have one at home. But yeah, the face is
where it's at.
It's where it's at. Yeah.
Okay, well, so tell us how you want to be found, website, email, tell us how you want to be found so that we can continue our conversation.
I have a website, healthyagingexpert.com, and then my email is Christi, Chrissti, at healthyagingexpert.com.
Okay. Thank you for joining me today and sharing all your wonderful stories and tips with us. And I hope you'll come back again in the future.
I would be honored to. Thank you for thinking of me for this one.
Okay. All right. Well, I wish you the best. And everybody, call Christi if you need some inspiration, or if you need some extra money, or if you don't know how to start a business and you want to be part of a team, reach out to Christi.
Thank you.